Now, a key thing to remember with ceiling joists is it completely depends on what you're building, what the sort of roof construction is, because you've got to take into account span tables, the grading of timber. For example, I'm using C24 6x2. You might notice that the ceiling plate is a single ceiling plate, and often what you'd see is people double this up. They do a double plate underneath the ceiling joist. Now, I actually didn't need to do that on this, which I think is the first time ever I haven't actually had to do that. I mentioned in a previous video that one of my friends left his job recently and started his own business, and how much did he say he's made? I think he's now just past 10 grand in sales. And up until 3 weeks ago, there was no business name, there was no website, there was no experience with designing a website, running Google ads, there was none of it. And I just want to use that as an example of how you sat in your 9 to 5, and if you do not enjoy it, anything is possible. I've got 1,000,001 examples of people I know who have done similar things as this person. And trust me, I get it. Starting something like creating your own business, I don't think people properly understand. You become every single type of employee if you start your own business. In order to start and create a successful business, you're going to have to wear a lot of hats. As an example, without my day job, earning the amount I did, being able to borrow 5.5 times my salary, the fact that I did an apprenticeship scheme, so my starting salary at 18 years old was 22 plus, I don't know how much my bonus was back then, but yeah, an amount of money. And also, that's something I've never quite understood, is that your bonus is factored into the amount of money that you can borrow, which is a little bit sketchy if you think in terms of being the bank, because obviously a bonus is not reliable. But if I was on 25,000 at 18, you borrow 5.5 times that, you're borrowing like £135,000. I mean, you could go to Grimsby, buy 3-4 bedroom terrace houses for that. You could buy a crappy flat in Southampton. Portsmouth, you could buy a terraced house. Now, I'm not talking about a nice done up one, I'm talking about one that everybody else would go, oh no, absolutely not. And that's where wearing a load of hats come into it, and insane renovation costs come into it. Guess what? If you teach yourself how to draw plans, you are becoming the architect. Teach yourself how to plumb, you're now the plumber. You teach yourself how to do woodwork, well, now you're the chippy. If you teach yourself how to do every single trade, just think about how much money you could save. And this is where a lot of people, I don't get it, they just don't have any self-belief or confidence. I can categorically tell you there is nothing in my life that I can't do. Even if I have no idea how to do it, I'll still manage to do it. And I'll do an average job at it. That's always been my aim in life, is to never become an expert in something, but to become bog average at everything. And I can sit here and tell you that that is almost entirely what it takes to become successful, is knowing that you're never going to do anything perfect. There's never going to be the right time to do something. Feeling scared, being fearful of things, that is only going to go away with experience. Waiting for the perfect time, it's just never going to happen. And as I was saying with my friend who started this business, cannot stress this to you enough. He could have remained at his 9 to 5 job for the rest of his life, doing the same thing every single day. Right, Cheryl, how's it going? Yeah, good. Oh, did you watch Love Island last night? Yeah, no, it's good. Did you? Yeah, it's really. Oh, the football. Yeah, football's on. Yeah, football. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, it's getting darker in the evenings now, isn't it? Yeah, it's getting dark. Yeah, the wind this morning was really strong. That could have been him forever. And there's always some sensitive person who goes, yeah, but I really enjoy my day job. I'm not talking to you, am I, you puppet? I'm talking to the 85% on a study that was done of people in full-time employment who admitted that their only reason they go to their 9-to-5 day job is for money. These same people deceive themselves and say, oh, money isn't everything. If money isn't everything, why does it affect everything? There's people out there who are achieving way more than you, and they're half your intelligence. I mean, my friend at the moment is making £1,000 a day, and he messaged me asking how much money that would be in a year if he earned £1,000 a day. That's what I'm talking about when I say there's people less intelligent than you achieving things, is he couldn't even do 365 times 1,000, and he's making that amount of money. And I've had a few questions of people being like, what sort of business creates that sort of money? He literally observed for 7 years what he was doing at his 9-to-5 and thought, I can do this myself. There'll be someone watching this right now who is a plumber and he's working for a company earning £38,000 a year. Why don't you leave and start your own plumbing firm? You know every single thing about it. Ah, you're scared. Yes. Okay, well, what about we replace the fear of something going wrong and bad and we start thinking about what if it all goes right for you? You ever thought about that? For some of you, you will be cursed for the rest of your life of some vision, of some dream that you want to achieve, and it will never, ever, ever leave your mind. If you want to open a bakery in the south of France and sell cakes for a living, you want to open a woodworking shop where you teach people how to make bird boxes, or me, I want to buy a chalet in Switzerland, a house in the south of France, and commute from each of them with all of my friends in supercars, it will never, ever leave your brain. For some of you, that sort of mentality of working every single waking moment possible will completely fly over your head. You won't get it. And then for some of you, it will resonate with you immensely. Building this tiny house, I can't even tell you the first day that I thought about doing this. It's got to be at least 5 years ago, the first time I properly was like, oh, I think I could actually do this. No mortgage, no interest payments. It's a really small footprint, therefore there's not a large heating bill. By sacrificing a few square metre, you gain a hell of a lot more financial freedom and the ability to not earn as much. This is a key thing. Have a little think right now how much you spend a month just to exist in the flat or house you're renting or you've got a mortgage on. Use a smaller metal drill than your wood screw, and then you don't need to buy self-tapping metal screws, so therefore you save a little bit of money, because otherwise I think it's like 10 quid for self-tapping screws. I had an attempt of making a vegetable patch in this pile of soil, and I now have a lettuce. The only downside is I planted one. I don't really want to cut it because then I won't really have much of a vegetable patch left. I also planted basil, but that seems to be a favourite of the slugs. First attempt of a vegetable patch. Great success in my opinion. However, in future I think I might need to step it up a little bit because, well, I've had one idea, which is I could potentially make the roof into a vegetable patch and the walls. I've also realised I might not have explained to you yet the cladding system that I'm thinking of doing. And well, actually it's two different types of cladding, because as you can see, only this wall here and this wall are going to be visible, because obviously these two walls back here, there and there, they are just pointing straight at a hedge, and therefore I don't really want to spend any money on some really nice zinc or timber cladding when it's just going to be hidden. So question to you lot, what is the cheapest form of cladding? Is it just buying basically unpainted sheets of aluminium maybe? But for the two visible walls, what I'm thinking of doing is a technique called Shu Yin Ban, which is pretty much this. It's burning of either cedar or pine, and I'll chuck up on the screen now some examples of that. And basically what that involves doing is essentially OSB, membrane, battening and then using lap cedar. Well, actually, I think I might do pine because pine's quite a bit cheaper than cedar. Now, those of you who can remember, that area from there to there is going to be a shower tray. So I'm going to be having a skylight going directly over it. And the challenge with that is I want the tiles going straight up to the glass and there being no recess of plasterboard or anything. You don't really see that very often, and I just think it would look rich. So yeah, that is also one of the benefits of building a tiny house is, well, in comparison to the London project, which had 5 toilets, 4 showers, 2 baths. Yeah, you have to keep getting your credit card out, and that makes me want to throw up quite often. Whereas with this, for the first time ever, I don't think I'm going to be as cheap as I normally am.